Hi everyone, Melanie Grillone from Tampa Bay Watch here, and I'm going to take you on a little journey out to Fantasy Island and talk about our native vegetation planting. Fantasy Island is located in Hillsborough Bay, owned by Port Tampa Bay and leased by the Florida Aquarium. Despite its small size, the island is teeming with life and great biological diversity. This aerial highlights Fantasy Island's southern shoreline, in which the rapid rate of erosion is evident. It's difficult to tell from this picture, but there's a steep 2 to 3 foot escarpment with significant chunks of that cliff being washed away every year, starting to choke in on the upland parts of the island. The erosion is caused from battering storm waves, but also an issue on a daily basis due to commercial vessels like cruise ships and tankers creating strong wake while traveling the main shipping channel in and out of the port. Here is monitoring site 2, for example. I took GPS reference points to mark the escarpment last February. By September, we walked back to that same GPS location that had represented the escarpment fringe just 7 months earlier, and I was standing 15 feet waterward from the current escarpment. Use the kiosk blue roof as a reference in this picture. You will see how much of the shoreline disappeared in just 11 months. Further east down the shoreline, a privet that once sat on the berm had fallen off and died, along with some dune sunflowers and a prickly pear cactus. Our solution to this issue was to grab a bunch of volunteers and get out there and start planting. The weather was calm and beautiful most of the days spent prepping and planting, but some days it wasn't smooth sailing. Despite these chilly and windy days, we've been fortunate enough to have our fantastic, dedicated volunteers come out and help us incorporate a living shoreline, a more natural and beneficial way of armoring our coast to create a buffer zone while upholding a natural shoreline transition. This particular living shoreline is composed of oyster domes, oyster shellbar, and now native plants. Thanks to the wave-attenuating oyster bars and domes, the plants will now be more protected to assist in sediment erosion control with their dense, complex root webs. Plantings took place in October 2016 and March 2017. The chosen vegetation creates dense root systems to help stabilize and allow for sediment accretion when there is overwash, along with providing invaluable habitat and food source for wildlife, improved water quality, extra shade and camouflage cover, and a buffer zone for a bird rookery, all while improving the aesthetic quality. These native plants can tolerate the harsh conditions of the pioneer zone and can handle salt-laden winds, intense sunlight, and nutrient-poor soils. Some species are perennial and flower year-round, providing nectar for butterflies or fruit consumed by some bird species. Many with vertical and horizontal runners, acting as ground cover or help avoid being buried by shifting sands, and some even live in symbiotic partnership with nitrogen-fixing bacteria. We planted salt marsh in the intertidal zone, sea oats along the escarpment, with dune sunflower and railroad vine up on the berm, and sea grapes in open shaded areas upland. With the help of hardworking community volunteers, corporate groups, and students, we were able to plant 7 different species, totaling just over 6,000 plants in just 4 days out at Fantasy Island. Projects like this, fueled by manpower, remind us that all individuals can take small steps in the right direction to make a difference in their community and for the better of our environment. There is still more work to be done to help stabilize the shoreline, and continued monitoring is needed to ensure the island can be enjoyed by humans and wildlife for many more years to come. I hope this video provided some insight into the ecological restoration efforts out at Fantasy Island, and as always, please feel free to contact me with any further questions.